I'm ALBY, and I'm here today with
David Audet.
David. Thank you so much for accepting to do the interview. So first of all, I want to say you're the DJ I've heard the most in my entire life, and I had the best night with you at the Flyjîn. For how long are you now a resident at Flyjîn, would you say?
It's my 8th year now. Yeah. By the way, it's a real pleasure to play for you guys. You guys are always a good time.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we come quite a lot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You saw us at least like once. Like yeah, we had some moments like we weren't there, but yeah, there was some moments like we were there like one or two times a week, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's almost like a pressure because then you see the same people and you're like, okay, cool. Now I need to like think about something to keep them excited. But every time I see you guys, I have a smile on my face because you guys just have such a positive energy. So,
Thank you so much. How do you maintain a 8 years residency at a club?
yeah, that's it's not easy. You have to constantly be on your toes. You have to try to reinvent yourself a few times a year. You, I guess, you have to find the right balance between driving sales and keeping an artistic integrity. So for me, I make sure to create my own remixes and mashups. And I just follow my gut also on like what I think is cool, and I try to offer it to the client.
Yeah. Now it's been not long, but you're playing now 2 times per week,
Yeah.
right? In Flyjîn. Is there? I'm sure, but there is difference, right, between like those 2 nights. What is like the main drive like between Saturday and Thursday? Now it's Thursday, right?
Yeah, the my playlists are the same, but the evolution of the night is different. On Thursday, it feels more like a sprint, and on Saturday, it feels more like a marathon.
Can you tell us about the first time you played in front of a crowd? Not, I'm sure it's not Flyjîn, but like your first experience.
I mean, I had piano concerts when I was a kid, so 5, 6 years old, playing piano for my parents and other parents of other students. But when it comes to like electronic music, I was probably 18 years old. At this point, I remember I played at 12:34. So Yoko Luna used to be 12:34.
Yeah.
And it was for like an electro party night. I didn't know how to DJ back then, so I just had my laptop and I had Ableton Live, and I was like playing music on Ableton, and a buddy of mine was like rapping on top of this, and it was a disaster, by the way. It was horrible. But yeah, that was the first time I played electronic music.
So you played piano. You told me also you played drums.
Yeah.
So you always been like around music.
Yeah, exactly. So I started to play drums at age 13. And for me, I grew up listening to heavy metal, rock, and then, fell into like the rabbit hole of death metal, black metal, and all that stuff. And it led me to study jazz drumming in college. In parallel, I was playing piano. I got interested by computers also in my teenage years. So synthesizers came when I was like in my late teens.
Yeah. Jazz drums, it's the most difficult drums you can play, right?
Yeah.
Because like you have 2 hands and 2 feet, they're always working.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about independence, and it's also about, how can I say this? It's about keeping a smooth touch even during intense moments. And actually, it makes me think my drum teacher was saying, when you work on the brushes on the snare, he was like, it's like caressing a woman. It's like you gotta go smooth. Like he was saying this. I think he was quoting his old drum teacher.
Wow.
So yeah, it takes a lot of finesse to play jazz.
With all the gigs you played, do you have any like superstition before playing a set?
I have a bit of a ritual. Now that I'm only a resident at Flyjîn, I have my Flyjîn ritual, which is going there 2 or 3 hours in advance and putting myself in a little booth putting my headphones on, and just doing music research, working on remixes and mashups, um, while having a light dinner. And what I like about that, because even though it's kind of a noisy room, I just like to lift up my eyes and seeing the venue, seeing the people that are there, and just starting to absorb the energy. So that's a bit of a ritual.
Yeah, no, it is. We do have also some fun, and like a bit picky questions. What's the most annoying thing a crowd can do during a set?
Yeah, the most number one is trying to have a conversation with me. Obviously, I love to say hello to people, and I love that. On the odd times when sometimes people come and I guess they're not aware that what I do requires
Concentration.
concentration, focus, creativity, a flow. So having someone trying to talk about something with me is the most annoying thing.
Yeah, yeah. You can lose your focus, and yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Also, it's just that I don't care. I'm just there to play music. I don't want to know anything about what's happening with you.
The funniest or craziest thing that happened to you while DJing? Once the music stopped because someone like just like I think like was a beer on a say DJ. Another one was the speaker on top of like the first table
Yeah.
there was stopping.
Ugh.
I think I had everything. Even at some point like the music stopped also for like 15 minutes. So but though guys, it's not like every time. I went there I think minimum like 200 times. So that
Yeah.
explained, right?
Yeah, it's still a pretty good ratio to success and failures. So maybe you're referring to that time the music stopped. Maybe you're referring to a night I was DJing.
Always, yeah. It's always you. Yeah, it's always you.
So
I mean, I'm going also like before Thursday, or Friday, Wednesday also that happens, but the most time Saturday.
okay. Maybe I need to check myself. Okay, so I'm
No, but it wasn't you, by the way.
Oh no.
No, wasn't like your fault. It was
Oh, okay.
like
Well, I mean, I can tell you moments where it was my fault.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about 3 stories. The first one is related to the night where the music stopped. There is a drink that was spilled. There's a drink that was spilled on the right side of the DJ equipment, but I didn't see it spill. And what happened is that the liquid started to go towards the mixer. And when the music stopped, I was like, that's so weird. Like, why is the mixer stopping? And I lifted it, and there's like water that came out of it. And then we had to spend 15 minutes trying to dry it, which was hell. But I think one of the most absurd nights was that like very early in the night, so at around like 11 or 11:30, there was a problem with the lights where suddenly all the cleaning lights, so like these very bright white lights, were they opened and they were not able to shut. And after a couple minutes of troubleshooting with Droopy, I saw the manager Jamie, I saw the bus boys starting to put aluminum foil all over these lights for like 15 minutes, and I was dying of laughters. And then comes the moment where all the lights are finally covered, and I turn around and I'm with Droopy and I'm with Laurence Matt, and I decide to make a speech, and I go, it's in nights like this that amazing things can happen, and I go, cheers. And then I turn around and I drop my drink on the mixer and the CDJ, and then the music stopped, and then I had to call Aaron to bring me another CDJ. So this was super absurd. There's one that is tough to say, but I guess I could say it. Like it's not that bad. But the first time I ever tried ketamine was at Flyjîn while DJing, and a friend of mine had these prescription ketamine that you can get in the States. So in some states ketamine is legal, and he basically, while I was DJing, my friend comes to me and he goes, "Put this cube in your mouth." And I'm like, "Man, I don't know. I never tried." He's like, "Put it. You'll see." So put it, and 10 minutes went by, and I had my first ketamine experience while DJing, and it was a mess. I felt like the music was coming from the bathroom. It felt like I couldn't really concentrate anymore. But fortunately, this drug is not very it's not very dangerous. So after 45 minutes, it was gone.
Okay. So it was only like 45-minute thing.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
God.
45. Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad for experiences. Yeah. Did the speech happen? Like, did you like speak to the audience, or did you speak
No,
to like Droopy and Laurence, right? Okay.
exactly. I wanted to have a moment. I don't know why I felt like I wanted to have a moment, an uplifting moment. But
Yeah,
I guess I paid the price for my cockiness.
something about a DJ that people will never guess.
Something about me is that I'm not very outgoing, but I guess people could guess it from
But
you know.
I heard this answer before, but no, like you guys are right, because like the crowd see like DJs, like always like, okay, like he's DJing in front of a crowd, so he's probably outgoing, like like but no, sometimes like the people is just like into music, and he wants to share what he loves. So I understand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I can comment on that on a personal level, I like the idea of a party, but I don't really know where to put myself in one. And since like I was a sensitive kid, and I really enjoyed music, it felt like a good way to feel like I was part of something.
If you weren't a DJ, what would you do?
I would be I would be a drummer. Maybe a therapist or a writer.
Do you write your own songs?
I'm a terrible songwriter, but I do participate in writing sessions. Yeah.
About that, I wanted to ask you about your track with Andrew Pololos.
Yeah.
Right. Went out in 2021, I think. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like? Can you tell us a bit like about the background of the production, maybe?
I made a demo with the like, that guitar in the song?
Yeah.
I started by creating a demo with this guitar, and I added a vocal from that song Vermilion by
Yeah.
by is it by
I think Enmi did a edit,
Right.
or maybe it's him.
So Enmi did a remix of Vermilion, and that's the song I was listening to constantly, and I love this vocal. And I mean, if you can put them together, and these two songs are going to sound good because they're both in D minor. And I remember sending to some of my friends, Thomas, Andrew, a couple other DJs, this remix of Vermilion. And I mean, Andrew liked it, and for some reason we were trying to connect during COVID and try to produce a track. And I said, hey, like, how about we try to, get our own vocals, make our own track. And this is how we ended up finishing it as Dime.
Okay. I think it's a perfect track for opening, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's, it's like, it's so smooth that you can lift up and then you can go on it, I think.
Yeah.
And with like the vocals, it's like Spanish, so I don't know, like I could like play it on openings for sure.
Yeah, honestly, I think this song is really good. Looking back, listening back to this song, which is funny. I started to play it again not so long ago. I made some sort of a mashup with Summertime Sadness and this track.
Wow.
And I'll send it to you if you want.
Yeah.
And
sure.
There's something about it. I guess it's just like it's a sexy track. You can play it
Exactly.
outside. You can play it with a small crowd. You can play it with a bigger crowd. It just works well. So yeah, good song.
How long does it take you to usually like finish a track from like idea to end, you would say?
The process is long because it's kind of scattered. So I'd say the first idea usually takes half a day. And then after that, it depends on a few, I guess it depends on a few criterias. Do you already have access to the right vocal? If if the track has no vocal, it's going to be simpler. So to answer quickly, I'd say between 20 and 40 hours per song.
Yeah. So you usually you're working on the same song. You're not like you have an idea and then you leave it and then you coming back at it, like let's say like for a week. When you have an idea, you're trying to finish as quick as possible, not because it's on your head, right?
Right. In a year, there's like, let's say 3 or 4 times where I'm gonna spend, let's say 2 or 3 weeks making ideas. Because from if you make a lot of ideas in let's say 2 weeks, if you make 10 to 20 new ideas, out of these 10 and 20, probably half of them are not going to be good enough, and the other half is going to have potential. So I like the idea of working on many different ideas, and then after that choosing the ones you want to finish.
Or maybe you can cross
Yeah.
ideas from them, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, mixing sessions is a great tip that Nico De Andrea showed me, where in many sessions that we were together, we would start with a session and then go for lunch and then listen to some music and then think about, oh, there's this other session we did 2 weeks ago. How about we put them together? Sometimes it works.
Yeah. Does the DJ makes the crowd, or does the crowd make the DJ?
Obviously both. A good DJ with a bad crowd is not going to be a good night, and a good crowd with a bad DJ is not going to be a good night. So you need both.
So you're at a gig and you need to go to the bathroom. What do you do? Well, you, if I can say, you have a plus because you have Andrew every time near you. So
Exactly. So the answer is Droopy. So Droopy is my savior. He's my light guide. He's my life coach, basically. He does it. He's my support system. So yeah, in odd moments, I have to go to the bathroom. You know, even funny, sometimes he just like texts Camilo and he's like, make space for David. He needs to go to the bathroom. So yeah, at least I have Droopy to help me out.
maybe it wasn't like a good idea question for you. Yeah, too easy for you. It's too easy to answer. Okay, so we're gonna end up with the, as always, rapid fire question.
Okay.
DJ culture.
Harmony.
USB.
SSD.
Sleep.
Crucial but neglected.
Montreal.
Diversity.
Genre.
Collage.
Extended set.
Bathroom breaks.
Request.
Sure.
Social media.
Anxiety.
BPM.
127.
Okay. Intimate or bigger crowd?
Both.
Okay. Opening or closing set? Don't say both because you're doing both, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Opening is the best.
House or techno?
House.
Favorite drink, but you don't drink. So
0% Corona.
right. Yeah. Every time I saw, yeah. But you know what? I thought like you were drinking beer because every time like we want to shot, of course not. But I saw beer, so I was like, okay, he's only drink beer, but it's 0%.
0%. 0% Corona and coffee are my 2 drinks of choice when I DJ.
Favorite comfort food after a gig?
Burgers.
If you could play one track for the rest of your life, what will it be?
Sébastien Léger, Dida.
Most underrated DJ or producer in your opinion?
I think he's not underrated because he's very popular, but I think his presence will make his way to the mainstream, and it's Luke Alessi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Alessi.
Okay. One DJ or artist that influenced your style the most?
Skrillex,
Okay. Yeah.
because he's just a genius.
If you could time travel to any club or rave, what will it be?
I would love to see the earlier stereo days. I was not there for that. So,
Like early 2000?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Same for me. Finish the sentence. The crowd goes wild when I.
Scratch.
Right. At after parties, I'm the one who.
DJs.
Makes sense also.
Good, man.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank
It was
you,
a
man.
pleasure. Really.
Anytime.
Thank you guys for seeing, share, like, comment, and I'll see you, of course, on the next one. If you have any question or anything, you can ask me. You can also ask David.
Come to Flyjîn on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Exactly. Come to Flyjîn.